Namaste everyone. Welcome to this evening's Y20 Talks program. What is Y20? Y20 is a youth outreach program of the G20. This evening's program is jointly organized by Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Research Foundation, New Delhi. It is the premier think tank rated amongst the top in the country by Wharton School of Business. As a think tank, it is rated as in the topmost and the 30th in the world. And it is the secretariat for Y20 in India. And SPMRF and Verandah Club brings you this program. Today we have two distinguished guests, Professor Kanagasabapathi ji and author and former ISRO scientist Jijith Nadumuri Ravi ji. Both of us are with us. Professor Kanagasabapathi ji is the trustee and secretary at Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Research Foundation, New Delhi. He is also our chairman. He is the former chairman of ICSSR and amongst other several positions he has held in leading central universities. He has written 5 books, 2 of them in Tamil, 3 in English. The first one being in English being Unorganized Sector, the Engines of Growth for Indian Economy. Second one, Prosperous India. The third one, Indian Models of Economy, Business and Management, all of which exploring the growth engines of our country, the cluster-based economy linked deeply to our culture and civilizational values, Bharatiya values. Welcome you, sir, to this evening's program.
Thank you.
Jijith Nadumuri Ravi ji, it's a pleasure to have a program with you again. He has written 2 books. He's an author after coming from, post ISRO. He has written 2 books, Rivers of Rigveda and Geography of Ramayana. Geography of Rivers of Rigveda came last year and Geography of Ramayana came out this year. I've had the privilege of having a online program with him on the Geography of Ramayana book. He's a former ISRO scientist and you can call him a geochronologist. All his books explore the chronology of events from the Indian Itihasas and Puranas. At ISRO, he contributed to the Chandrayaan-1, GSO, LTO orbit design and the GSLV launches. He founded the website ancientvoice.wiki.com. It has got more than 25,000 pages connected with our Itihasas and Puranas. He is also a very avid speaker on the subject of today, which is emergence of artificial intelligence and changing landscapes of workforce. He himself is a technocrat leading, doing a firm, having a firm which specializes in artificial intelligence and augmented reality. His website dharmadigital.in helps recreate digitally using artificial intelligence the characters from our Itihasas and Puranas. It is a great service that is doing, requires a great amount of commitment, knowledge, deep understanding, all-round knowledge, I would say. Privileged to have you, sir. Please take us on a journey. Both of you, please take us on a journey on the future emergence of artificial intelligence and the future of workforce.
Thank you, Jagan. We are very, very pleased to have the former ISRO scientist and an expert on artificial intelligence. Besides, he is a dharmic thinker, writer. So we are very, very happy to have him today with us evening. So without wasting much time, we would like to learn from him. So welcome, Sri Raviji. Please explain the theme and make your initial remarks. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for SPG and the Verandah Club, Jagannathan ji, for inviting me to today's talk. And it is a kind of a very interesting topic, very dear to me. And as the speakers mentioned, I have been working in this area for more than around 5 years now. That is, what is the augmented, the artificial intelligence, AI-based systems. and also connecting it with some of the very related technologies like XR or extended reality, or the which people popularly understand as augmented reality or as virtual reality, etc. So artificial intelligence with its recent emergence, like kind of, it was there for more than 10 years, making a very slow progress, slow and steady progress in like a ramp like growth, linear growth, where we have been hearing it for a quite a long time, like at least for a decade, it is very much active. And there are certain uh, engineering like degrees which are focused on artificial intelligence. And even in my engineering studies, that is in the 1990s, the decade before, in the last millennia, there was papers or subjects which are related to artificial intelligence. So that is something like in 1995 to 1999 period. We had this subject of artificial intelligence as a one paper, and people have studied it. But we have like made leaps and bounds from that early stages where it was studied as an academic paper. And if you look at the first decade of 21st century, that is from 2000 to 2010, there was a kind of mild applications of artificial intelligence, which I also happen to use in my professional career, including in ISRO and many of these IT organizations, where we're using the artificial intelligence for basically for neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, that is basically understanding the semantics of text. And then by looking at the textual information, understand what is the emotion or the sentiment of it. Like, for example, if we read a paragraph from a novel, like as a human being, you can look at that few paragraphs and understand what is the main sentiment of that particular paragraph. Is it like talking about some aggression, or is it talking about something which is related to happiness? Whether the people or the protagonist of the novel is are they talking in a kind of a passionate manner, or they are sad? So emotion detection from text, that is sentimental analysis. This is one of the earliest application of artificial intelligence that become very much popular in the first decade of the 21st century. So it started moving from mere theoretical papers when I was doing my engineering to something like a practical application. And then we were using artificial intelligence, like for example, in while we were doing kind of banking and accounting, it was assisting the numerical analysis of the banking data, and so many other things. And slowly, like towards like 2018 or 19 onwards, I see the application of the artificial intelligence in computer vision related systems. So as part of my professional career, I had some couple of teams with team members. I have guided them as a provided guidance to them, like they were doing their engineering graduation along with the kind of an organization where we have to guide them. So definitely, I was the guide and mentor to these kind of AI-based teams. So there was a like a lot of application of artificial intelligence in the area of computer vision, wherein just like the human eye, they will be able to detect something like a cup is a cup, or a box is a box, or a tree. So like that, just give them images, they will be able to recognize, okay, this is a particular object like a cup or a tea or a tree or a bus then slowly there is a character, the facial recognition, it get into facial recognition, so that the computer vision systems can understand this is a particular person, or by looking at the face, then okay, this is Ram, this is Praveen, or something like that. So they are able to distinguish people. So that was the kind of capacity that we had. And then the decade ended with a wide variety of artificial intelligence applications, which are like NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and natural language processing, And then slowly they've been talking about using artificial intelligence for language conversion. Like somebody can speak in one language, the Mandarin, Chinese language, and then using algorithmical analysis as well as artificial intelligence, using deep learning and other techniques, machine learning and deep learning techniques, you can translate it into another language like English or German. So around close to the COVID shutdown period, I have seen like people are effortlessly going into Japanese cities with some applications in their mobile phones. So they just have to switch on the camera and look at some Japanese signboards, and it will convert it into English or read it out for you. So that traveling into foreign countries, especially Indians, apart from our mother tongues and Hindi, we usually converse in English. And international arena, we will be primarily focusing our conversation using English. So all this, and it is a very difficult for a Indian, mostly 90% of them conversation in English, but not very much familiar with the Eastern languages, especially Chinese and Korean and Japanese, and even sometimes a little more familiarity with French, German, or Portuguese. But then this immediately this language problem is completely vanished because you have an artificial intelligence system which can just look at the signboards, etc., and instantaneously translate it for you in your language, even allowing you to speak to the system and get a reply in your language, etc. So we can read out in English, or you can just show the text in English, just overlay on the, like, if you are going to a restaurant in China or in Japan, there is a lot of things written on the signboard. You just have your camera focused. It will translate it for you that this is this particular shop. You can read it in English, or it will read it for you in English. And there is it's a kind of little bit slightly different application wherein you converse with a person in real time. It will get translated into that particular language. So you can effortlessly talk to a Japanese person, and whatever you are talking converted into Japanese, and the person understand it, listen it, and reply back in Japanese, and you will hear it in English language. So all these things were possible by around 2020, and it got improved in 2021, etc. And then we are here now. That is, this year we see a kind of a massive launch of the artificial intelligence, starting with our early this year, that what you call ChatGPT. So that is where we are now, right now. And what is the kind of understanding that I get from industry is that the ChatGPT is one of the revolutionary system. That is, like, people have compared it with mobile phone. Mobile phone is a kind of a life-changing system. That is exactly the topic of our this current talk. So how it transforms your life, and especially how it transforms the job market, etc. So I'm slowly coming to that area. Primarily now, if you look at the transformation that is happening in your life, now you know how we are all gone through that period when the mobile phone just launched, and become popular in the early half of, or very first decade of the 21st century. Of course, it was there in the previous decades also, but people started noticing the mobile phones in the first half of the this century, 21st century. So something like that, and within 20 years, it has revolutionized our entire life. You used to carry a digital camera earlier, or a kind of a compass. I mean, very rarely people will do a navigation system. All inside your mobile phone now. So you don't have a camera. You don't have a for listening. Don't have a tape recorder or any kind of players, audio player. Everything is there in mobile phone. So that is considered as a benchmark of how technology revolutionized life. And what happened this year with the launch of ChatGPT, what people have mentioned is it is comparable to the whatever revolution that mobile phones have created in our human life, but it is going in a much rapid pace. So within 3 months of its release, it has been widely used like a wildfire, it spread across all the boundaries of the geography. I mean, it's using all over the US, Europe, India, everywhere. And you see, if you just open up social media, you are flooded with courses on ChatGPT or some courses of understanding what is ChatGPT. All these things very much you can see in a rapid fashion it is spreading. This is the fastest rate at which the applications are getting downloaded, or people are getting hooked up into the AI-based, open AI-based systems in a much rapid phase. And it's something like the 20 years of mobile revolution happening in a single year. So that is the kind of rapid advancement or disruption it is causing into the life of people. So now, I mean, this is what, I mean, in terms of currently, that is the kind of impact that we are seeing when you talk about ChatGPT a lot. But ChatGPT is one instance or one aspect of overall artificial intelligence revolution that is being unleashed. So everything is like on the basis of a system called OpenAI. And OpenAI is like an open standard for defining artificial intelligence-based systems. And ChatGPT is one of the instances of it. So we had GPT-1. That is how we started this year. But currently we are at GPT-4, the fourth version of the ChatGPT with much more power and much more capabilities in understanding human conversations in textual format and giving response, etc. Now, before embarking into the how it is changing our niche area where all the life it is changing, but especially on the area of like how much of it is impacting our landscape of the workforce, and that is where we will be focusing now. So of course, our workforce or the work is actually one of the major aspects of our life. And this is also the area where the artificial intelligence and systems have the biggest transformation or biggest kind of impact it has created. So if you want to understand it, then just need to look at the current unfoldment of the OpenAI-based systems and what is it happening? I mean, what is it doing? What are the areas where it is impacting, etc. So straight away, the biggest application and the most popular application of the OpenAI, which is currently in the form of ChatGPT, is that you ask any question, like you type any questions to these OpenAI-based systems, including ChatGPT, and you get answers, and they are very coherent and very much meaningful and valuable answers that you are getting from this kind of a system. So this is how many people use the ChatGPT. Like you type something, like if you don't understand or if you want to know some new things, like I need to know about a particular vehicle, some car model that has been launched, etc. So you can type it and you get a very meaningful information about it. Even software developers, that is, people are working in that industry now. It's like I need to get the source code of now how to implement a kind of metaverse application. I mean, it's just a kind of a requirement or any kind of I mean to create a medical application with so and so parameters. I want to create an application for doctors for the diagnostics purpose. Any of the things, if you type in, it will start giving you source code. I mean, if you ask like I need the source code for this, I need to know the source code for creating a button in a kind of in a particular language, like in C++ or in C# language. Or I need a JavaScript code for like doing something on a browser. So you can define anything, and subject to your definition, like you're typing, how much details you give. Depending upon that, you get answers very quickly. And many people, many of the developers, source code creators, they are just typing in something and getting a very decent source code, which they can copy and paste into their programs. And then instead of writing that all these things themselves, they will be able to get the ChatGPT to create that source code for them, without any errors, and then just copy paste and it start compiling and building, and the application is ready. So this is the kind of scenario that has been happening, and all these things are happening. I mean, it's unimaginable. It is all happening in a matter of few months. Last year there was no such things like this. Just in 2023 you have this. So that is the kind of rapid transition happening, and just because even just the textual based kind of interaction that ChatGPT is offering you. And not to say about like anybody want to learn something in a new subject. Earlier methodology was you search in the Google. So Google search engine is basically a kind of a NLP based with a little bit textual parsing kind of system that has been implemented. Maybe it is, if you compare it with the current intelligence of the current AI, it is just maybe 5% intelligence. Wherein using keyword search, it can give you a lot of information. So when you type something in Google, the search bar, what is happening is you have certain keywords in your question, and it go and matches with the keyword. It matches with so many information all over in the internet. So it will just give a keyword search, and based on the keyword, whichever information is matching with your search query, it will bring all those search that answer, that all that links. That is what when you say, when you type something, you get a large list of items with one hyperlink and some brief description. That was the older method of searching and understanding and getting information till last year. That's what I want to say. Till last year, Google search, it was like that. Now what ChatGPT comes, what it does is, it again gives you information, but in a much more advanced way. Because Google search engine, or any kind of search engine for that matter, is not fully understanding your question. It is only looking at certain keywords in your question and trying to match the information all over the internet in a very rapid manner, like in matter of seconds, because it's a kind of server information network it is created. So it can fetch it from millions of information sites, websites all over the world, and that is itself is a miracle. And we were all wondering for the last 20 years how Google is able to achieve it, because it's again kind of a functional duplication, so that one query goes to thousands of computers, computer nodes, I mean internet nodes, and it goes to another 1,000 internet nodes. Like that, within a second, it goes to large number of information nodes in the internet, and it fetches you the ranked information, set of information, which is ranked based on relevance, and that is what we call the Google search result. So that itself is a miracle, and we were just recovering from that miracle, that then you have the ChatGPT coming in. So compared to a Google search query or Google backend system which understand your search, this is much more advanced. ChatGPT is more advanced. Google just look at your keywords and then try to match it with millions of information sources. This ChatGPT or OpenAI completely understand your sentence. So it's like as if you are talking to a person, like an intelligent person, because your sentence is completely understood in terms of its grammar and meaning, its sentiments, everything it's understand. There is also, because if you do a shout kind of a thing in the ChatGPT, it will also understand that you are angry, or you are actually shouting, or whatever information given is not what you wanted, so you are desperate or frustrated. Even that also the ChatGPT understand. It's a much more advanced level of understanding that ChatGPT is having. And because of its full understanding of your sentence, even context of your query, because Google is something, I mean, the normal search engines typically very rarely understand the context. So for example, I had a lot of examples for that, like sometimes certain words are there which have different meanings in different domains. If I'm not getting in some examples, so but if for example, if you have Andromeda, for example, so it is a galaxy, and unless you also have certain other keywords which tell you that it is a galaxy, Google search engine will not be able to understand. It may be giving you a kind of a search result about the lady named Andromeda, or maybe the Greek character Andromeda. Similarly, Mercury, if you search, it will give a Mercury, which is the planet, or it will maybe the element Mercury. All these kind of confusions. But when you have a ChatGPT based system, based on your conversation, it knows your context. And in that context, you are talking, when you talk about Mercury, you're talking about a planet, then you don't have any extra keyword or anything. It will understand that you are looking for a planet, Mercury, and that kind of information. So this is one of the specialities. So what happens is that the ChatGPT text interface itself, which can get information and answer queries, that it itself becomes like a kind of an intelligent person. Now comes the impact. So now, since you have got an intelligent, like an automated persona in the form of ChatGPT, then a lot of jobs which are related to like inquiries and answering questions are affected. And as I mentioned, the amount of efforts that a developer require to write code has very much minimized, because a lot of things they can just get at the tip of their hand. And these result into like either the developers or these people who are affected, they have changed their methodology or their life differently. They are maybe in a direct competition with ChatGPT. And that is the result that results into this kind of, like, for example, in some certain companies which are heavily focused on information-based workflows, Microsoft or Google, who are champions into the AI systems, they are certain layoffs happening, etc. But again, this is what I understand is this is temporary. If you look at overall, like whenever any kind of technology emerges, which reduces the efforts and pains of the human effort, basically what happens is that you may initially see it as a disruption. Ultimately, it is reducing the amount of effort that overall humanity is doing as a whole. So a large amount of human effort is like taken over by the artificial intelligence, and which result into some free time. Like it will automatically result into certain free time for the humans, individual human beings. So overall net advantage, human beings are benefited. That is what my understanding, because I have seen this kind of disruptions before. I just give an analogy, like we had earlier, we were doing the tilling in the field using the bullock carts, or you yourself take the tiller and doing all the activities on a field. And then tractors came. I mean, I'm just giving an analogy of, so initially people were doubting, like once the tractor comes, what about the happen to the laborers who are doing all these manual activity? And there was a lot of fear and fright, because a new technology comes in, it will take away jobs. So yes, definitely the tractor has taken away a lot of jobs, but I don't think the humanity as a whole has suffered, because those who are lost jobs, they did some better jobs. The people who were tilling, who were doing like working, hardworking, like a bull, like an animal, they are freed from that activity because of the tractor, and they are doing some better jobs. So these people are now maybe working as a superintendent or some other much better jobs than doing just labor work. So that is just one example, and any kind of technology disruptions are exactly like that. So maybe instead of working as a developer, writing code on a daily basis with maybe 9 to hour, they will be like managing some ChatGPT systems, or they will be communicating or prompting to the word keep. The prompt is just it's a kind of a technical word. So they may be prompting to the textual ChatGPT systems and get work done. So whoever was earlier at the lower rung of the development as a programmer, they may be becoming like a development manager or something like that. So they will get a better job. So it's of course whenever initial when any technology comes up, it appears to everybody as a kind of a disruption and creating certain loss of jobs or layoffs, etc. But everything turns around, and net result is something beneficial. So that is kind of an impact that can be happening into the workforce. And it also like the primary will be like any kind of repetitive activities. So people who are into repetitive job activities, they have a bigger impact, or they are directly competing with the kind of an automated ChatGPT system, because ChatGPT or AI based systems, initially they will be like very much making an efficient automation system. So any kind of automated jobs where things are repeated, so people in that job needs to maybe rearrange themselves and understand or focus on something which is more creative. So the ChatGPT pushing the entire workforce, intellectual workforce, because compared to the tractor, the ChatGPT is a technology that is disrupting the intellectual workforce. So all the intellectual workforce have to look at and search into their job profiles, whether their jobs are repetitive in nature, whether it can be automated. Then you have to be thinking about your future, because automated jobs are the directly something that AI can work, and it will free up the human workforce which is doing that automation. So automation is one thing. Then of course the AI has to be not considered as a kind of a competitor, but AI has to be considered as a kind of a assistant or a augmenter of your workforce. So that is also another kind of point I want to put into the table, because all these system AI-based systems, like in the movies, Hollywood movies, etc., they will scare you up saying that they are competing with you, they're destroying you, etc. But in reality, it all comes, all of the AI-based systems automatically becomes like a support or assistance for the human intervention, etc. And another important factor, human creativity is not AI is not taking away the human creativity. Whatever creative ideas we have, ideation is still within the with the human mind. So the humans are creating the ideas, and the AI-based systems that has emerged in this year, as in the form of OpenAI or ChatGPT, the instantiation of the OpenAI, they are basically giving you a kind of a assistant or a kind of an intelligent augmentation of the workforce. That is what is happening. So it is not a competition to the workforce, but a intelligent augmentation of the workforce. And AI, it will also create new jobs, because some of the jobs, as I mentioned about the jobs which are repetitive, automative, those jobs will be going, but you have a creation of new jobs. So in some areas you see a job displacement, but in some other areas you will create new jobs, which are like AI-based advanced technology components will be using. So mostly prompting is one activity that in which you will be able to guide the AI. Still, it is the current AI-based systems are working based on human guidance, and that is called prompting. So that is one skill that every intellectual workforce need to acquire, so that you will be able to control these artificial intelligence systems and get work done. So that is one thing. And of course, it involves a lot of reskilling and upskilling. So everybody have to recheck onto their skill profile and understand where are the areas where the AI is interfering. And in that, they have to do some kind of a reskilling and upskilling, and they can anticipate some job role changes. Of course, it will be in the upward direction. So whoever is working as a developer, maybe a kind of a development manager. So that kind of increase that change of roles. And of course, and net result, nobody see, even anybody who's cared about AI, nobody doubts the efficiency and productivity is increasing. And of course, like a lot of people have, when you look at the AI, they think about ethical or social impact. So I'll talk about that so subsequently. So ethical means something that I have noticed, because I have done the evaluation of the ChatGPT system when it's launched, by just testing it with some snippets of Mahabharata, etc., where I am expert. So Mahabharata and Ramayana, I try to give some questions to the ChatGPT, whether it is able to answer correctly things related to Mahabharata or Ramayana. But I see like some kind of gaps because the ChatGPT version 1 was restricting its data set to around 2021, etc. So it cannot answer things very clearly on things which have happened later. That is whatever is in the future, like later to 2021, where its data set got frozen. So then so many other people have tried asking religious questions, etc., to the ChatGPT, and they got very offensive answers from the ChatGPT. This is all because the system is trained with certain biases, and the bias is in the data set. And so these are the kind of ethical problems that we are facing with ChatGPT. So of course, in the area of religion and like social sciences, like whether if you ask about Aryan invasion theory versus out of India theory, etc., the ChatGPT may not be answering it correctly, or it may not be knowing about the real answer, or it will connect, it will actually align with or bias with whatever is the dominant narrative. So there are certain areas in which the ChatGPT is not very useful. Especially, I have seen certain areas, very focused areas like religion or social science, history, etc., are certain areas where there are controversial theories or like conflicting theories, etc. The ChatGPT is absolutely of no use, and it is almost equivalent to a biased individual. That is another thing. So there are ethical and social related considerations. So of course, it also results into job creation, because there will be then somebody has to look into the data sets and correct it, because those has to then in that cases, you require a manual intervention. Multiple experts have to look at the data set and make corrections to the responses of the AI-based system in the area of religion or history or philosophy, for example. So it's not like, and many people have considered the ChatGPT as something like an expert. No, they started considering whatever responses from the ChatGPT as kinds of authoritative, etc. So we have not yet reached that stage, because when it comes to certain niche areas, niche knowledge areas, ChatGPT is just a child. You have to treat it like that. So it is still not an authority. So we cannot just take the response of ChatGPT and take a snapshot of it and say that, so the ChatGPT is saying that hence it is true. We can't say that. We have not reached that stage. And then, of course, that is the ethical fraud. So there is also job creation in this area, and there's also a caution to all the people who try to see the ChatGPT as an authority or staff of authority for many information. So that cannot be possible right now. And it also means definitely there are a lot many people will be required for guiding the artificial intelligence in these areas. Similarly, the AI will be another important aspect is the transformation that is going to happen into the industries, because a lot of decision making related to production or factory automation, etc., will be taken by AI-based systems, and they will be not. What the advantage is that they are tireless monitors. They can 24/7. They will be active on certain parameters, like whatever parameters coming from IoT, Internet of IoT or sensors. They can take it up, and a human being have to sleep. But the AI-based routines, AI-based artificial intelligence-based routines can continuously monitor without any sleep all these parameters and can make very intelligent decisions related to the factory production or automation or industrial output creation, etc. And similarly, the AI is being used for prediction in financial markets, and a lot of people are raking up a huge amount of money because of the use of artificial intelligence, predicting the pattern of the trade market, etc. So there is that kind of impact that is happening into the financial sector, the industrial sector, automation, the automotive industry, which is using the artificial intelligence for creating something which will be like a kind of very much beneficial for the humanity, like connected cars, which means all the automobiles that will be running in a kind of a city, in a crowded network, they all communicate each other and ease out the traffic. And I really want to have that, because in some of our cities, we are all struggling when it just rain comes, then your travel from 1 hour to 3 hours, it increases from 1 hour to 3 hours. So the AI-based systems can ease out these kind of problems, and it becomes extremely beneficial for human travelers. Everybody knows how the Google Map helped the traveling. Can anybody imagine the period when we were not having Google Map? We will be stopping at every junction and then checking to the native people there, which direction to go. And it itself was creating traffic jams because people don't know where to turn. They will stop at junctions and ask questions. I get 2-3 minutes are lost, and that 2-3 minutes other vehicles will be behind, and it create traffic jam. So now with Google Map, everybody is an expert of every city. I can go to Delhi or I can go to Ahmedabad and I am familiar with the city. I can drive there, or somebody can come to Bangalore or Chennai and then can drive. So that is a Google Map. So imagine now Google Map is not yet AI. It is just a kind of a information network with, of course, maybe 5% of elements of artificial intelligence. But now Google Maps, etc., will be replaced by intelligent agents, which are like OpenAI based artificial intelligence agents will be there. They will be conversing with you as a passenger or as a driver, and conversing with other cars and traffic control systems, etc. And then the immediate the results expected is that it will ease out the traffic all over the cities in the world. Traveling in the cities become a little more easier and faster because the cars are connected and are intelligent to communicate to each other and to navigate. So all this great advantage. And of course, I was already talking now about the textual as well as the decision-making kind of systems. And I did say that the creative part is with the humans, but it has the AI-based systems have started creating paintings, artworks, and it is thought to have some impact on artists and especially the people who create imagery, the painters and artists already started getting impact because ChatGPT is able to create a very beautiful and highly realistic kind of characters. I myself have created some imagery of Krishna and Pandavas, etc., using ChatGPT based. So the realism is very much higher. And I have did it like in the normal way without using the artificial intelligence. And it took me 3 years, 2018 to 2021, to create 100 characters related to Mahabharata, Ramayana, and Rigveda, etc. Whatever we are doing I have done for 3 years. Now we are at the cusp of the AI-based systems can create it in a matter of maybe an hour, like that, based on your description. Like, I need the Yudhishthira to be looking like this. You describe whether he has a mustache and crown, what is the color of the Uttariya, and everything. Then the system is very much ready. I mean, just such kind of systems are just emerging up as I'm speaking in July of 2023, because I have to tell the month also, because in August it will be already there. So that kind of systems are also coming up. So you can actually, instead of, I mean, currently already pictures are, you can create pictures. Very soon you will be able to create 3D models, animations, etc. using like just prompting. You can just typing, I need this. You tell that I need to have a palace with all these like 5 Pandavas and Panchali, everybody sitting in this location. It will create that. That is the area we are heading to. And similarly, like any kind of sceneries, etc. So there is a kind of impact onto the 3D modelers and animators. People are working in the creative industry. Then it will also start impact on other other related industries like movie industry, serial making, or any kind of virtual set can be created very quickly. So all these things. So creative, one side, it is conquering the creative areas as we speak. It can create music. Now I understand is the deep fake. There is a concept of deep fake the artificial intelligence is able to create, because just like, for example, I'm talking here for 1 hour, and this video clip it is fed to the artificial intelligence, which are focusing on the voice, and it can create a voice print of me, and it can create anything you type in text, it will be spoken in my accent, the way I speak. So anybody hearing it, they will think that I am speaking. So that is that's already happened. That kind of systems are already there. And unfortunately, this is also used for scamming people. So through this medium, I am cautioning that people who are listening, that you may also hear about people speaking things which they have not spoken, or that kind of thing. Because they, for example, one scenario I have recently found just 1 week ago is somebody got a phone call like asking for money from one of their relative, but the entire voice was created by artificial intelligence, and the listener could not understand that it's an artificial. They thought that it is their father, somebody who is in accident and requiring money, and then they transferred the money also. So this kind of things are happening. So of course I said, like, every technology is a double-edged sword. Anything that even in the past, whatever technology is there, and whatever technology that is going to happen in future, everywhere the technology can be used in both ways. So we should be cautious about that. But the positive side of it is that you will be able to create your own voice. So for example, it will be like in the movie industry, if you think about, you can take maybe Prabhas. Prabhas is having a problem in speaking all the dialogues he is supposed to speak, but he can now, one artificial intelligence can take his voice print, and you can create all the dialogues that Prabhas need to speak. So the dubbing artists there, they have to think about, like this is directly into the field of the dubbing artist. So similarly, and the artists themselves are not fully free, because people can create 3D character of Prabhas or anybody like Rajnikant. They can actually make them act also. But anyway, that means thankfully maybe it will take 2-3 more years to do that. But even that is also a kind of a reality. So this is also happening. I mean, so you have textual system that is represented by ChatGPT. Then you have mid-journey kind of things which create images for you instantaneously. And then the other systems I'm talking about create 3D models, animations. So an individual can create an animated movie all by himself by typing text and prompting to these AI-based systems. All these things becomes a reality. So you have images, voices, characters, everything that you require. So some of my dreams that I have, a personal dream, is to create the entire Mahabharata, all the characters, and then have all this, they act out all the scenes in the Mahabharata, etc. And I was thinking about the old way. That is what I said, like from 2018, I started creating 3D characters, etc. or by hand using 3D modeling animation software. It took me 3 years. But Mahabharata or Ramayana is very huge, with 75,000 slokas in the Mahabharata, and more than that in the Mahabharata, and around 18,000 plus in Ramayana, etc. They're very, so then artificial intelligence systems will be able to actually completely create the entire such large kind of information of events happened, etc. in the kind of using pure prompting, and it become much more faster. Maybe then these kind of dreams can be realized in a matter of 1 year or 2 years, etc., instead of in 20 and 50 years. So that is why the kind of scale that we are getting from the ChatGPT. So maybe I'm yeah. I mean, maybe I'll stop here, and then I would request SPG to ask some questions. And then
thank you, Raviji. Thank you, Raviji. Before giving an opportunity to our friends, listeners, I have 1 or 2 very quick questions. One, how to use this chat GPT? For ordinary people like me, we don't have much understanding. Do we need any app for it? This is one. And where are we in artificial intelligence? We as a country, India. So these 2 basic questions I want to ask, then we can move to others. Yes.
Yeah, yes. So one is, right. The first question, because fortunately, the ChatGPT completely available on a web page.
Okay.
So, for example, if you Google search on the simply on a ChatGPT, it will start giving you a kind of website. It will be like chat.openai.com. So that is the currently available ChatGPT kind of interface, and then you can actually use it. Like for example, if you are a Google user, you can log into it using your Google account. And then once you are logged in, it's basically similar to whatever your help system, chat support system in for any product, etc. So you type in something, And then, for example, if you want to know, I want to know about the history of artificial intelligence. Just like that, if you type in the text box, then it will start thinking something, and within two or three seconds, it will start talking, telling you about. I mean, telling means textually, it will be ejecting text about what is the kind of history of the artificial intelligence. That is very simple. So currently, it's a kind of a web interface. It's something like a URL you type, for accessing Facebook or Google, Gmail. You just like that, you have to type for the chat GPT or OpenAI, whichever words you use. Exact link is chat.openai.com. So anybody can access it and then start using it. That is one thing. And second question, if you can.
Yes, in the field of artificial intelligence, where are we as Indians? Yes.
Yes. So again, unfortunately, like the pioneers of this OpenAI based ChatGPT systems are like the companies like Facebook and Microsoft and Google. So there was a big race between Microsoft, Google, and Facebook on this artificial intelligence. And current as if we speak, currently it is Microsoft that is leading with the ChatGPT, which is part of their ecosystem. They acquired the company which has come up with ChatGPT. But now we see Google. I mean, Google are already coming and competing, and they have announced their artificial intelligence program. And Facebook is not far behind. Apple is there. So now it is company driven. So that's what I'm answering, because it's not country driven as of now. But of course, these companies are in US, headquartered in US. So we can say that it is led by United States. But to be precise, if you look at the entire structure, it is basically company driven. So I have to talk about, like, currently the world is divided into countries as well as it is in parallelly divided into corporate organizations. So when I say that, a lot of Indians are there already in the ChatGPT program. That's what I'm saying. So India means basically a lot of Indian intelligence, India's talent is already part of creating what we call as OpenAI and ChatGPT. But individually, as in India, I'm looking at, because earlier I have seen some Sanskrit based, Sanskrit speaking applications, which is also there in the mobile phone. We can download it, etc. So this is the area where I think that an indigenous push will happen. Like one of the dream that I have cherished, and with many others in the technology area, is using Sanskritam as a kind of a language for advancing into the artificial intelligence. Because I have seen some science fiction movies in my young ages, where all over the not only in the world, I mean in Earth, but all over this galaxy, the Sanskritam is used as a language for intercommunication, etc. So there was some studies happening, like English is a little bit loosely defined language, and all the artificial intelligence struggle to work with English, because it has got its own problems and idiosyncrasies. Like for example, there are certain words in English like sanction. Sanction means what? Sanction can mean that you approve, or it also can mean you have not approved. So same word, multiple meanings. So these kind of problems are there in English. And Sanskritam is a much more refined and well-defined language where ambiguities are very less. So a lot of time we were talking about having Sanskritam just like English as a better language. We use a better human language. We use Sanskritam with artificial intelligence computers. So that is one area I would like to see some progress subsequently, which is very much indigenous in AI.
Thank you. Jagan, can we?
Yes, sir.
Can we give chance to others?
Yes, sir. Friends, you can ask questions. I think Suresh had posted a number of few questions he had posted. Suresh, sir.
Okay.
You can ask the expert.
But I don't know only I text only. I don't know the deeply. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. No, maybe if there are no questions, everybody answer this. Everybody ask me whether AI is good or whether AI is good or evil. So, I mean, if there is anybody who have that question, so maybe I will quickly answer, which is that no technology is either good or evil. It is neutral. And the people who are using it, maybe using it for evil purposes or good purposes. That is just I wanted to add on to the talk. Any other questions?
Suresh had posted if it can be, what are the applications in the jewelry industry for AI?
Okay. So like any other domains, it has, like, for example, recognition is one important aspect. The human eye uses, human eye have certain limitation to recognize everything about an object, 3D object. So jewelry, they will use certain, by visual inspection, they will use some understanding the quality of the gold, etc. Where the AI-based computer vision can little more enhance that vision, and it can detect fake or fake and real much more clearly than a human being. So, for example, just giving an example, today I mentioned about deep fake, wherein one person can create a video of somebody speaking which he has not spoken. But how to detect it? Another artificial intelligence program is able to help and detect that this is a fake video. So it can have a high capacity to detect very, very hard to detect fake things, including jewelries, including videos, everything.
Yeah, this is Keshav here. Can I ask a question?
Please
Yes.
go ahead, sir.
Yeah, this is ChatGPT and all we are talking. It is all most of them are in public domain. In the sense,
Yeah.
ChatGPT, it is not that accurate. Like no, if nonsense is there, it continues to give the nonsense results only. If you take you're telling about the spiritual or religious, it may keep on giving nonsense also. So instead of ChatGPT, we may have to have a private GPT or something different, not in companies. I'm talking organizations. ChatGPT may not be a what you call, for organization, is ChatGPT helpful for taking decisions because it is having full. So many it takes from all the feedback from different people conversations. Some nonsense conversations also may be part of that.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. But currently, what in 2023, what we have seen is there is something called OpenAI. In that, ChatGPT is an instance of the OpenAI. So that is what we are seeing it. It is just a baby coming out, and the initial reactions or initial interaction of the baby. So we had ChatGPT 1 and ChatGPT 4, and rightly pointed out, it's complete nonsensical things talking about in terms of religion, philosophy, or ancient history, etc. And that is what I also hinted about, data corrections. And as you mentioned about, we have to create our own. Yeah, definitely, because the current model is open. So maybe the government of India have to set up some committee and very good able team of experts so that they can build on top of the OpenAI and create something similar like ChatGPT, something parallel to the ChatGPT, which gives you the right answers, especially related to religion and philosophy, etc. This is one activity that from the Indian context we can take up, because it's up to us to grab the opportunity and move fast and create this. So that is a very big opportunity. Like apart from the Sanskritam I'm talking about, this is another opportunity. Like we create expert systems for our own philosophical, religious aspects, and it can be a very good tool for children. They will understand our religion more clearly or our philosophy more clearly, etc., which is not tainted by some biases from the Western like database, wherein they have things wrongly understood things. So just like any person who have a wrong understanding, this artificial intelligence can also have a wrong understanding. So as far as we converse them, we can have it.
Excellent, sir.
Thank you.
Hello,
Harimanan,
namaste.
sir.
Yes, namaste.
Namaste, sir.
I think that there is going to be a great opportunity for India per se and Indian IT companies. So may I know which are the Indian IT companies who are the forerunners in getting this codification and other work related to AI?
Yes,
Indian IT companies.
correct. So there are a lot of startups, which is Indian startups in all the 4 major cities, which are already entered into the field of artificial intelligence. So they are too numerous, so I cannot name individuals, but it is something very much positive I have seen. And many of them are very much promising in terms of they're defining their goals, objectives are very clear. And many of the IT industry, they see the very big potential into these companies which are completely rooted in India. That is one part. But all the other companies which we know, the big companies, we have Indians predominantly leading. I mean, some of the CEOs are Indians themselves. But as you're right, Indian rooted companies, a lot of them are emerging. And I think the next 2 years, we'll hear more among them, about them.
Very heartening, sir. Very heartening to hear. Sir, I have one small question, which is from the safety part, which you have partly answered.
Yeah.
But see, right now the phones that we use, the laptops, iPads that we use, have programs, antivirus softwares, optimizing softwares, everything operating at a particular level, which is linked to the parent operating system of our devices.
Yeah.
Now, this Chat GPT or any other equivalent that we may install from the App Store is technically or it appears to be of some higher order intelligence compared to the other applications in our phone. So, will there be a security breach of data from when we install Chat GPT from our existing apps? The privacy data or something like that will, or like for example, banking passwords, OTP, things like that. Can it be pulled out and sent to a potential hacker? Is it possible?
Yes. So the current applications are actually, you can say, bound up applications. Currently, ChatGPT is just an application where it's actually capacity is limited to taking text and giving you text. So that developers have decided that it will only respond in text. So it has no context of from where you are talking, etc. So, but one thing is they have intentionally defined the boundaries for this application, ChatGPT application. But any near future, you can have applications where these boundaries are not there.
எனக்கு இனிமே நீ வேண்டாம், நீ அவ்வளவு ஒர்த்தும் இல்ல, நான் ஃபீல் பண்ற அளவுக்கு சொல்லிட்டு போயிட்டாங்க.
Other than participants, please mute. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
So as of now, whatever the unfoldments happened in 2023, everything is bound up. They have limited freedom, etc. And currently also they are announcing that it's always in the web browser that they are enabling it, not in the mobile phones as downloadable applications. But it will change very soon, because the speed at which things are changing is not year by year, but month by month. So whatever we are speaking in month of July, in August, you will get something which is little more different and advanced. So that's what, and we have to anticipate that kind of a scenario. But then as I mentioned about fake videos started coming up, then there are applications, AI-based applications that can detect the fake video. So they will always neutralize and support, counter each other. And as I always mentioned, technology is always neutral, wherein we cannot say same thing about the users of or the people use it as a weapon. That we cannot be very sure. I mean, it was there in the past also like that. Even in future, it will be like that.
Sir, you want to add any points, Professor?
Jagan, thank you, Raviji. It's a very highly informative presentation that you have given, because people like us, most of us, we don't know beyond the basics. So you have given an elaborate and detailed presentation on artificial intelligence, the latest development, ChatGPT, and how it influences the workforce. So on behalf of all of us, my thanks to you. Over to Jagan.
Likewise, sir. Thank you so much, Professor sir and Jijith sir. Jijith sir, you have highlighted the emerging trends and the challenges and opportunities which lie ahead of all of us. And like Professor sir pointed out, you have given clarity on this issue, because I, for one, have not beyond ChatGPT. I don't know what is ChatGPT. Today I got some very good clarity on this field. Thank you so much, and I am sure all the viewers also enjoyed.
Yes.
And tomorrow we will be uploading the video. And stay tuned on the social media handles of Y20, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Research Foundation, and the Verandah Club to know our programs for the subsequent weeks that we have lined up. We have an exciting set of speakers who will be joining Professor Sir in the coming weeks. Thank you so much, Jijith ji. Thank you all. Thank you, Professor Sir. Vande Mataram.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Ravi ji. Thank you all.
Thank you.